There are numerous benefits to worm farming, and worm farming, it can be quite exciting, or at times it can be frustrated if you do not know what you are doing. And so in today's video, as I am restarting this bin that I've just harvested, I am going to be sharing with you 10 facts about worm farming that should make it a little bit easier for you to run your worm farm successfully. Hi, I'm White Davy. Welcome to White Davy Garden and Worm Farm. So before we get started into the 10 facts, in this bucket here I have food scraps that I had in my compost bin with leaves and shredded papers, and in here I have my cardboard and I have my water ready, and then I have my container with the worms that I took out from this thing. They're hiding. So we're going to be restarting this bin as I go through the 10 facts about worm farming. And the 10 facts is going to be specifically about redwigglers. Redwigglers will regulate their population based on the conditions that are in their bin and in the environment in which their bins are kept. Mature redwigglers average about 3 cocoons per week. And from each cocoons, you will have an average of 3 hatchlings. So from 3 cocoons per week, that's a total of, that's an average, not total, of about 9 hatchlings that you will get from those cocoons. Now, did you know that each redwiggler cocoon can have up to 20 eggs in it? Yes, redwiggler cocoons can have up to 20 eggs in it, but the average amount of hatchlings that you would get from each cocoon is around 3 to 7. Now, while a redwiggler cocoon can survive freezing, the cocoons cannot withstand high heat. So they will survive freezing, but if conditions are too hot, the cocoons will die. Now, redwigglers are smaller cousins of the European night crawlers. No composting worm like to be disturbed, but of all the composting worms, redwigglers are the least finicky when it comes to being disturbed. And there is one interesting fact that I learned in 2020 regarding redwigglers. I've kind of suspected, but I was not certain, and that fact is that redwigglers can survive being frozen for a day or two, but for extended period of time they will die. And if the temperature reaches freezing, there are some of them that just won't survive. So it's best not to let them freeze. But if you have a bin that was frozen or got frozen within a day or two, or even in a week, I'd recommend warming up that bin as quickly as possible and see whether or not you can save any of the worms that are in there. As I mentioned before, the cocoons will survive, but if you can save some of the worms, then by all means. But it's best not to allow your bin to freeze in the first place. Of all the composting worms, red wigglers are the ones that can withstand the widest range of temperature. So they can withstand some amount of heat and they can withstand some amount of cold. So they are the ones that are best for you to get if you are starting a worm bin and you live in a region that experiences both hot and cold temperatures. Of all the composting worms, red wigglers tend to be the least picky when it comes to what they are fed. And when it comes to reproduction, red wigglers tend to be one of the most prolific of the composting worms. Worms rely on good airflow in order to survive. They breathe through their skin. They don't have nostrils like we do. And so in order to ensure that your worm population keeps on growing, it is vital that you understand how important airflow is in the worm bin and what you can do to increase it. So if you're interested in learning more about how important airflow is in the worm bin, I am going to be leaving a link in the description below, and you can click on that link and supply me with your email, and I will send that video to you regarding how important the airflow is in your worm bin. So if you enjoyed my video and you would like to see more videos like these, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you for watching and have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, a time for grow.